Broncos country, we know you're upset as they lose Monday Night Football to the Chargers 19-16. Oh my goodness, a special teams blunder. PJ Locke, my dude, what are we doing? Back away from Montreal, Washington. That play, that was it, DMac. I'm speechless. What?
Rachel, we have been crippled by poor special teams play for years. Coordinator after coordinator haven't known what they're doing. The desperation to try to do something special on special teams rather than just catch the ball. They are giving the ball back to you. You're trying to catch it at the 30-yard line. Let it go. And that's not on Montreal, Washington. That's on PJ Locke for being a complete moron. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I just cut him. I'm sorry. You just can't have that. You can't play that well as a defense and then have something that stupid. The fact that happened with Dwayne Stukes, I would let go of him too. That was outrageous that something as dumb as that would happen to cost you a game. And that's a guy with like a ripped up hamstring for the Chargers that scored what? 4? Yeah, right? I mean, they only had one touchdown, right? Yep. So 10, 13, 16, 19, 4 field goals with a ripped up hamstring. That is so freaking pathetic by the Broncos special teams. I can't even tell you. And what a shame based on how amazing the defense was.
Oh my goodness. And there's so much to dive into. People in the comments are saying, fire everybody. Keep them coming. We want to hear. We're going to put some of your comments up here on the screen too. But let's just dive into this, DMac, because again, this Broncos team only scores 16 points. While it looked like in the first half things were going great, the offense was get rolling. They stayed consistent, I guess, and nothing happening in the second half.
Yeah, Russell Wilson, 15-28 for 188. 6.7 per touchdown, no picks. He hasn't thrown many interceptions, but he's not doing anything either. Sacked 4 times. I mean, he was all right. He actually
151, DMac. 151. A lot of those going on to Mari Mathis, which some of those calls I thought were poor choice, but 151 yards and penalties. 151.
I mean, it's abysmal. I mean, I guess our guy Jake Shapiro did find a corner that had 4 PIs against him last year.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I know, that's the worst performance by a cornerback in Denver Broncos history, right there. By the way, this is why, despite how good Patrick Surtain is, it's minimized by how terrible everybody else is. It's why a cornerback doesn't have the same value as a quarterback because you just stay away from him. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to rag on Patrick Surtain. He's great, obviously. And the defense was amazing. The Broncos defense was incredible tonight. What a horrible, horrible shame.
The fact that they were able to stop them twice in overtime, that tells you. And they were, I'm pretty sure we had the stats. I think it was 38 minutes of possession for the Chargers, 28 for the Broncos. So they were out there. 38 minutes of possession that the defense was out there. And they come up with 2 stops in OT against this Chargers team too. Wow.
Yeah, they were great. Specifically, Baron Browning was out of control. He was awesome.
How about Alex Singleton too? Oh my goodness. Coming out, what he had 19 tackles?
So in that area. No, not on the defense. Great job by the defense. Horrific. I cannot explain how stupid that special teams play. Listen, let me tell you. First of all, Dwayne Stukes, you should be humiliated by that right then and there. Second of all, Nathaniel Hackett, you're the coach, okay? You can tell your special teams how to operate. Mm-hmm. All you need to do there, Rachel, literally is nothing. You literally need to do nothing. You need to just let him catch it. You need to tell your punt block defense, Rachel, look at me, to do nothing. Nothing. If Montreal, Washington wants to fair catch it, fine. He doesn't even need to do that. He can just let the ball bounce around. Who cares?
I say, you don't have anybody touch that ball. Because he fumbled or he like messed around with another ball earlier on in the game, and he got lucky. You don't have them touch the ball at all. You say do not go near the ball. The muff punt officially cost the Broncos a 52.5% win probability. 52.5%. Are you kidding
Rachel,
me?
epically stupid. Unforgivably stupid.
Is this the dumbest play we've seen out of the Broncos? Is this the dumbest one?
I'd fire Dwayne
How
Stoops.
simple it was.
Rachel, I would fire Dwayne Stoops tomorrow. I'd fire him tomorrow. I would fire him tomorrow.
Houghton?
I don't know. Who cares what Houghton? Who know? I don't know. I don't even know what Houghton does. I can't believe Houghton even has a card key to get in the building. I have no idea.
Listen, I'm 100% with you. 100%. That was the dumbest special teams, but you still have a quarterback that you're paying $245 million, and they scored 16 points. Again, you're firing Justin Houghton. You're telling him you're staying in LA. Good luck.
All right. Sure. I love your outrage, Rachel. I love it. I love the passion. Fire them all. I mean,
embarrassing.
Evero, the defensive coordinator, good on you. The defense was awesome. I mean, I don't really have any criticism against the defense. What are we supposed to criticize? Well, I'm sorry. No, my bad. Sorry. What am I talking about? Mathis should never. I mean, I don't know. He's a draft pick. He's a George Payton guy. That was horrific. That was terrible. But you have to admit, 2 of those calls at least were very ticky-tack.
All
right, I'll have to go back and watch it. I'll take your word for it.
I would say the 2. I could think of the 2 that were very ticky-tack. The other ones, I get it, but 2 of them, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wow. Well, you know what's funny? 10 penalties for 151. That's terrible. The Chargers had 9 penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not like they were innocent either. And it's not, it's terrible, 10 penalties for 151. But it's not like those penalties necessarily led to like an onslaught of points. You know, I mean, it wasn't good, but at the maximum, those penalties led to, and, you know, I'd have to look through, you know, play-by-play, it led to 16 points. The penalties had nothing to do with the final field goal. So if you have 10 penalties for 151 yards and it only leads to, say, 16 points, Rachel, I mean, it's not great, but it's not the end of the world. So not great, obviously, but I'm not going to put anything on the defense, even Mathis. I'm not going to put it on him. Absolutely abysmal, embarrassing, humiliating special teams at the end of the game. And the offense was good in the first half and then just, you know, non-existent in the second half.
Non-existent. We did have somebody in the comments that just said, I can't wait to hear James Merilatt go off. James will be joining us after Nathaniel Hackett finished talking to the media.
James had him winning. A lot of people had the Broncos winning. And they had the
Broncos winning.
Well, they had the Broncos winning because the Broncos were playing. It was the weirdest logic of all time that, you know, the Broncos win because they're actually playing. Strange logic. But here's why they had a shot, and the defense proved it. The offensive line of the Chargers, Rachel, was totally messed up. They were playing their third string center at one point. Their right tackle was hurt. They got a rookie left tackle, and the Broncos made him pay for it. They did. There was pressure on Herbert. Herbert threw the ball. Are you ready for this? 57 times. They ran the ball 20. So hold on a second. Let me get.
What was their completion? What was his completion percentage?
That's asking me to do math. Don't do that to me.
Well, what was his attempts versus completions?
37 for 57. So not
What's
great.
funny too is I feel like thinking back of watching the game, it just felt like they ran the ball over and over again.
They ran. Let me see here. 81 plays. The Broncos ran 51. The Chargers ran 30 more plays than the Broncos in this particular game. And that's, you know, the offense has to be better. We saw Melvin Gordon's career end with the Broncos, by the way, tonight. His career's 3 carries, 8 yards. He's done.
And you know what? Is Melvin Gordon on the team next week? He shouldn't be. I have questions about this, DMac, because this doesn't even make sense to me. They were all praising him, and maybe this was just a show and makes us not want to believe anything that the Broncos coordinators or head coach ever have to say again. But it just seems like, you know what? They were like, all right, we're going with Melvin Gordon. Latavius Murray is going to be backup, yada, yada, yada. No. We learned tonight that is not true. So I need to know, is it his attitude? Is that the issue? Is it his fumbling? Because obviously he's got butterfingers, but he was fine last game against the Colts. Or is he going to be involved in a trade somehow? I have questions about Melvin Gordon and what the heck is going to happen with him, because the fact that he was not utilized, not saying that Latavius Murray and Mike Boone didn't play well, but it just doesn't add up.
We're in a world of hurt here. He has zero trade value, Rachel. Zero.
I agree, which that's why I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
You know, here's the truth about running back is next year, the free agent running back market, Rachel, is insane. I mean, it's crazy. It's there's at least like 8 guys who are really good who will all be free agents, okay? So Melvin Gordon's just gone. So if you don't like him, you don't like his attitude, just cut him. Just cut him. Seriously, cut him. Just, whatever with the money, just let him go. There's no reason. You can pick up somebody else as a free agent running back. It doesn't really matter. And they obviously don't trust him. That's what it's really all about. Let me see here. Hold on. Did he have any catches?
I don't think
no.
so.
Wow. No catches, no targets either. No, he's
But
gone.
what was the difference between the first half and the second half where they were like, yeah, we're not putting you in? Was it his attitude?
That's a great question. I'm not sure. Well, that's a good question to ask and find out where they're going. But you have a 2-4 Broncos team now, Rachel, that I'm not even sure what to say. If you were ever going to win a road game, here was the time. You had the ball a couple times in overtime, and you're going to get it, a third time? Is that right? You're going to possess it a third time, and your special teams killed you. I mean, I don't know what Greg Penner finds acceptable at Walmart, but just a hint, Greg, this should not be acceptable in the NFL.
Something has to happen. The amount of high school level basic stuff the Broncos offense struggles with blows my mind. I'm with you, Dan. I am with you. It doesn't make sense. We thought they simplified it in the first half. We were like, all right, here we go. This is the team we've all been looking for. Second half comes. Don't know what happened there.
Just disaster. I mean, they couldn't move the ball. And maybe Jay can help us out because I don't have the half-by-half breakdowns. But, like, what were the numbers in the second half? I mean, the first half was all right. I mean, you're doing okay, really, seriously. And you get a field goal before the end of the half and you get the ball at the start. It was good. It was actually really good. And Russell Wilson was running a little bit. He started out 10 for 10. That is crazy. Let me think about that.
How about Russ's back-to-back runs? Was that because they don't have any faith in their running back situation? Or
I think he's making some executive decisions there. I have no problem with that. But Ray started 10 for 10, and then he finished 15 for 28, which means he went 5 for 18 after going 10 for 10. How do you go 5 for 18 after starting off 10 for 10?
I don't know. We did just have another comment I saw. Keep them coming, everybody. We love them. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're sorry we're talking about a loss as the Broncos fall 19-16.
Well, I'm upset.
I'm upset too. Trust me. But I just saw a comment that was talking about they had 11 days to prepare, and this is what happened. Nothing changed, DMac. Nothing changed.
Well, not only all right, that's fair. No, that's fair because the defense only gave up 12 points in the last game. They only gave up 19 to the Chargers in this game. That's enough to win. I mean, the defense, and I'm not even counting the last 3 points against the defense because of the turnover. So the defense gave up 16 points. That's it. 16 points. And they got a turnover. They did get it. Baron Brownie got like 2 turnovers. Picked it off, fumbled it, recovered it. He was amazing.
DMac, was this the break?
What's that? Sorry.
Was this the break? Was this that they were bending? Was this the game that was going to break this team apart?
Well, I would fire Dwayne Stukes tomorrow. I'd start there. Here's
my only thing with Dwayne Stukes. 100%. Stupid. I'm with you. But there's been like Justin Outen. Maybe I'm just riding the Justin Outen train all the way out of town, but like we've had more bad offensive games. Russell Wilson is the quarterback of this team, and they only scored 16 points. Trust me, again, the reason the Broncos lost today is because of special teams.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Justin Outen's got to go. It's either Nathaniel Hackett and Justin Outen are gone, or Justin Outen needs to be gone. Ejiro Evero needs to become the head coach of this football team because he's the only thing that can put quality out there.
I mean, you scored 3 points in the second half.
With Russell Wilson.
You scored
and
3 points.
They looked solid in the first half too, DMac. That's what doesn't – it's like this team gives you little glimpses of hope where you're like, okay, this is it. This is going to be the breakthrough. And then they just crumble.
I'm glad Russell wore a nice suit to the game.
I'm glad they all did, right?
Justin
Simmons rolled up.
What do you want us to say here?
Nice.
You know, you can speak of adversity and hope and whatever. Okay, enough words. How about saying nothing? How about that? How about that for this team? Say nothing. And you're right. You had 11 days to prepare for this. 16 points against one of the worst defenses in the league.
You ready for that?
I'm beside myself. And I cannot believe, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not surprised that by the way, Montrell Washington muffed an earlier punt. Yeah. Tell him to get the bleep away from the ball, Rachel. How about this? You're Dwayne Stoops. Get your defense together. Say, hey, make sure they don't do a fake kick and get away. Get away. We just need a fair catch. And frankly, hey, Montrell, if it goes over your head, get away. I mean, we have idiots running things here for the Broncos. Idiots. And I'm just, I know I could be a better special teams coach than whoever they've had in the past so-and-so years. I know I could. But you know why, Rachel? I would tell them half the time to do nothing. That's literally what I would say. Guys, do nothing. And I would be right more than I'm wrong. You know what we wouldn't have, Rachel? We wouldn't have 15-yard punt returns. Oh, boo-hoo. We've got a $15 million quarterback. So you mean to tell me the chance, the attempt of a 15-yard punt return somehow trumps a quarterback who makes $50 million a year? Yep. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
See, that comes down. You got to fire some people. You just laid it out. Whose decision is that? It's Nathanial Hackett's.
I don't know. I just get rid of, at this point, Hackett. I don't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. I've seen enough. I mean, hey, listen, for a source of inspiration, look at CU. They got a guy who was, I don't know. He takes a lot of happy pills over there. He's all pumped up. And they got a win. I mean, anybody could do a better job managing this team than Nathaniel Hackett right now. Anybody.
We need to talk about the fact that the Broncos decided to pass it on 3rd and 1, DMac. Why not run the ball? Why not run the ball? The Broncos had 3 chances to drive for a game-winning score, twice only needing a field goal to do so after Hopkins' 35-yarder tied the game at 16 with 3:58 in the fourth quarter. 4 plays, 9 yards, a punt. 3 plays, 9 yards, a punt. 3 plays, 3 yards, a punt. Muffed punt prevented the 4th chance. Boo.
Pathetic. Good breakdown. Pathetic, Rachel. Pathetic top to bottom. I have no idea what Hackett's going to say after this one. I mean,
I can't wait for James to join us.
Your
I know
defense.
James is fired up too. So, like the comment said, James is going to just let us hear it. But is this the worst loss?
Let's not forget, James picked the Broncos to win. Okay,
I did too, though.
Well, what's wrong with you? What are you?
I did it sheerly out of. They had 10 days. They had 10 days to turn something around and make some sort of miracle. And maybe I'm just going off of hope that they're able to do it instead of what I'm actually watching.
Who on the staff actually picked the Chargers besides me?
Who won the quite a few people. A lot of people chose the Chargers.
All right.
A lot. It was like 75% of the staff chose the Chargers.
All right. But
yeah, Jake chose the Chargers.
The point spread was 4 points. The Broncos, I'm not surprised it came down to a field goal. God, I can't believe how upset I actually am.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Does Russell Wilson walk off that podium and say, "Let's ride"?
Of course he does. Does
he? If he does, he's an idiot. If he does, he's an idiot because Broncos country is learning to hate Russell Wilson, and oh boy, is it going to be bad.
Yeah, he should. Listen, he should stop that crap.
They're 2-4, DMac. They're 2-4, and their points per game is, I believe, Broncos raised their points per game on offense tonight. Technically, it was 15. Now it's 16.
But hey, Rachel, they're going to be. I mean, you can look it up. Jake can look it up. They're going to be the worst scoring offense in the NFL.
Yeah,
likely they are.
Yep.
I mean, they were at 31, and the Colts scored 34 points. So they're definitely wow, this is crazy. After 6 weeks, the Broncos are the worst scoring team in the NFL.
Never, ever would have guessed that. Ever.
Never in a million years. Never in a million years.
So what do you do?
Sad.
What do you do, DMac? Do you continue fire Hackett? Do you fire Hackett? Justin Mountain?
You're stuck with Hackett.
Your head coach?
Rachel, here's exactly what I would do.
Wait. What's confirmed? Something is confirmed. Jake's just put in our chat. Oh, the worst scoring offense. Okay. I was like, what's confirmed, everybody?
Right. So they're the worst scoring offense in the NFL after 6 weeks with a $50 million quarterback. Rachel, it's not going to happen tomorrow, although I'd be fine with it. Here's exactly what should happen, though. After the bye week, because the best you can do is 4-4, okay, which would be, at this point, a miracle. But you would.
I don't know if they'll win another game.
I would fire Hackett and Outen and Dwayne Stukes. They would all be gone tomorrow. I would immediately hire Gary Kubiak as the interim head coach, and Clint Kubiak would be the offensive coordinator calling the plays.
Why not Evero?
Because I still want an offensive coach that's in charge of stuff.
But why not just let Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson clearly just needs to take the reins. Let him do it.
Yeah. You need a coach. By the way, here's why I would do Kubiak instead of Evero. Kubiak insisted that Peyton Manning play a different way. He wasn't intimidated by Peyton Manning. Evero, as much as I respect him, I wouldn't trust him to be able to dictate how things are going to go to Russell Wilson. I have no doubts Gary Kubiak would. And you need somebody. Now, listen, to get Sean Payton, Rachel, you have to trade value to get Sean Payton, okay? That is just
They have nothing.
Well, we don't have any trade value.
They have nothing.
What do we have? Nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you again, Gary Kubiak as an interim coach as soon as possible, Clint Kubiak calling plays, and you go for it. And by the way, look at Minnesota, and I know the Kubiaks aren't there anymore, but look what they built and look how they're doing. They're doing all right. You tried the yippee-skippy Nathaniel Hackett stuff. It didn't work. It's not going to work. There's nothing, zero evidence that it's ever going to work. And you would need to see something. This was a good night. You possibly could have seen something amazing if you didn't have a special teams mess up.
Yeah.
I'm infuriated. I am incensed. I am beside myself that this game that was really entertaining and interesting and compelling. And by the way, they're showing a pass to KJ Hamler right there. You got to hit him for a touchdown. He's wide open.
I'm with you. I've got some more bad news, which everyone's definitely going to want to stick around for. James Merilatt coming out. Russell Wilson has a hamstring injury tonight, Nathaniel Hackett said. So stick around. James Merilatt's going to join us with more of Hackett's comments. That's not good. He took a pounding tonight. We saw it on the one where they gave the all-out blitz, and he got blocked. But
Rachel, I'm fine with it. Don't forget, I said he should sit out for the next 3 weeks.
I know, but here's the thing is, technically, this is a short week. I know it's not a Sunday to Thursday, but it's still a Monday to Sunday. We're going into a short week again for this team, and now their quarterback is hurt. Injuries keep piling on. DMac, what do you do? Do you give Brett Rypien? I know it's never going to happen, but what do you do?
Well, what I would do is try to, there was speculation that the Broncos could make a trade for Mitch Trubisky. The problem with that idea is that Kenny Pickett went out and Mitch Trubisky got a win. So they're not going to deal with Mitch Trubisky.
I have another question for you. And
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Rachel, 15 of 28 for 188 yards. That's like beyond average. I mean, that's numbers.
And we're seeing backup quarterbacks do great things for a team. I know Cooper Rush lost last night. Look at him, though. He went 4-0 before he went up against an undefeated team. The guy in New England, I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. He's doing
Bailey
great.
Bailey Zappi.
Zappy. There we go. Backup quarterbacks are looking pretty good right now. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I don't know.
Rachel. At the end of the day, it's 15 and 28 for $188.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, no interceptions, one touchdown on a broken coverage, by the way. I'm happy for Greg Dulcich. That was a cool moment. But the Chargers just screwed up. By the way, the Chargers stink, Rachel. They stink on defense. They're one of the worst defenses in the league.
This is why
I'm watching ESPN here. Here's the coach. Staley, I don't know. Rah. We didn't lose. Way to go, guys.
Rah. The Raiders only win coming against the Broncos, and there's the Broncos at 2-4. Chargers moved to 2-4 or 4-2, along with the Chiefs. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. This is just upsetting, and I feel for Broncos country because this is pathetic. This is just a pathetic offense. The defense, they played so well tonight. And then special teams, and I'm sorry, it doesn't even come down to Montreal, Washington, really. It comes down to PJ Locke, where
Rachel, we got beat. They're giving a game ball to the kicker with a bad hamstring. We lost to a kicker with a bad hamstring.
Yep.
We lost to a kicker with a bad hamstring.
Yep.
Look at this.
And they're a bad team? Yeah, this is it. I mean,
no, they're not. No, actually, they're not a bad team.
Their defense is a bad team.
Their
offense is fine.
They've got a terrible offensive line right now. They've got a below average defense. There you go. Hey, player of the game, our freaking kicker. We lost to a freaking kicker with a bad hamstring. That's it, man. That's just rack them up, baby. Rack them up. The hero of the game for the Chargers, a kicker with a bad hamstring. Wow.
Okay. So, is anyone getting fired in the next?
No, of course not. Of course not, because, hey, Greg Penner, I guess, we'll see. We'll see. I keep hearing how brilliant Greg Penner is. We'll see, Rachel, how brilliant he really is. We'll see.
All right, well, let's bring in the man everyone in the comments wants to see. That's our very own James Merilatt. They're ready for a roasting, but first tell us about Russell Wilson's injury, James.
Didn't hear anything about that, to be honest with you. I was watching Nathaniel Hackett. He took all the blame on himself. Okay, that's good. Different than Vic Fangio. He talked about self-inflicted wounds. Raise your hand if you're tired of hearing about that. And then it was just, more of the same from the Broncos head coach. So, look, I'll put it this way. They had 11 days to fix their problems. They didn't fix one of them. None. So why are we to think it's going to get any better? It's not. The Broncos were a mess tonight. They beat themselves. Ejiro Evero should be the head coach of this team starting as soon as possible. They have one phase of the game that is good. One, it's their defense. Their offense let them down today. Their special teams let them down today. Nathaniel Hackett's in over his head. He proved that even with 11 days, he can't fix one thing. The Broncos were no better today.
By the way,
James's voice, for anyone, it's because he's been screaming for the last hour. It's not because he's sick or anything like that. It's simply because he's screaming.
So into it.
You know what's amazing? As bad as James' voice sounds, it's better than the Broncos. That's incredible. By the way, James, as you were watching Hackett, all I've been doing for the past 20 minutes is screaming basically about fire everybody.
Yeah.
We've got a different strategy. I would hire Gary Kubiak as interim and Clint Kubiak as offensive coordinator. And because, no offense to Evero, but I would just let him keep doing what he's doing. What you need is a man in charge, a man in full. You need a master of the universe, and that's Gary Kubiak. And as far as somebody calling the plays, just let Clint do it. He was doing it in Minnesota anyways. How could it possibly get worse? And here's why I specifically say Gary. He's the one guy that wouldn't let Russell Wilson control everything that's going on there. He would actually take control of the situation, James, on an interim basis, and let's see how things go. But there's no reason to delay this.
No,
none. Zero. And if Greg Penner doesn't know this, it's only because Greg Penner doesn't know what he's doing. So, Greg, this is not the discount aisle, and this is not about how to move auto parts in a super Walmart. It's about how to run your $4.6 billion organization.
Yeah, no, it was pathetic tonight. It was the same problems we saw for 5 weeks. So again, you had 2 weeks basically to fix it. You didn't fix any of it. Why should we believe it's going to get any better down the road, next season, in the future, whatever? This is going nowhere. Their performance in overtime tonight was pathetic, but they had 13 points at halftime. They scored 3 points in the second half. Do you know how long their scoring drive was?
How long? I don't.
0 yards. 0. 0.
Oh
no!
my God.
Listen, this is harsh reality, and I asked this. Hey, by the way, you might remember I said, "Hey, it's the middle of October on a Wednesday. What's Greg Penner doing?"
Yeah.
Well, he should be firing people, and Greg, if you don't, it shows more about how little you actually know about football. This endeavor that and listen, the real owner Rob Walton called him Goodell, not Goodell. So I know you don't know anything that's going on. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But Greg Penner has been ensconced in this for quite a long time, okay? And Greg, these are big problems if you don't understand football. Big, big, big problems. And it's best on a big problem to move on from it as soon as humanly possible.
Correct. 100%.
James, I want to talk to you about the muffed punt, PJ Locke. That's really where it comes down to. I don't even really blame Montreal Washington. And actually, I give a lot of credit to the Chargers defender. I don't even know who was, special teams member who was out there because he pushed PJ Locke. He saw what was happening. He pushed it. So opportunity to catch a fair catch, to kick a fair opportunity to catch a kick, fair catch. Contact with the receiver. It is interference if a player of the kicking team contacts the receiver or causes a passive player of either team to contact the receiver before or simultaneously to his touching the ball. Then that's technically means that they shouldn't have gotten it, correct?
No, I mean, I think it was a fair play. I really do. I think it's another example of a poorly coached group. Right?
Terrible.
We thought Brock Alibo was bad. We thought Tom McMahon was bad. I love Dwayne Stukes at the podium, but his special teams is every bit as bad. So if you're PJ Locke, you can't be 2 feet in front of your returner to where you can get blocked and into him. Like, it's just unacceptable. And the other part of this, and DMac and I are on the same page, I hate a special teams unit that is trying to make plays.
Hey.
Right there, field the punt. Give Russell Wilson the offensive ball. All you need is a field goal to go win the game and escape. That is 3 muffed punts in 2 weeks for Montreal Washington. Thank God we went and got this big special teams guy. He had a 18-yard return in one game, and everybody got all excited. 3 blunders. Find me the touchdown the other way.
James, it was going to happen. Why was it going to happen? Because it always happens with desperate players making desperate plays. I've said this literally for years. I would not have somebody return a punt or a kickoff if they didn't make at least $2 million a year. Fine. If you don't make $2 million a year, you don't get to touch the ball. Because I don't need desperate players trying to make desperate plays.
Agreed. It just was it's a risk reward kind of thing. So if I have Devin Hester as my punt returner, fine. You know what? I'll live with a muff here and there. They don't. They have a guy that a big play is 15 yards. Just put somebody back there, fair catch it, and let Russ have his shot.
Do you want to go through the Shiloh Teos of the world that they've had to try to return kicks? The smartest thing they ever did back in the day, Eric Decker fielded balls. Emmanuel Sanders occasionally fielded balls.
Yep.
I mean, Leonard, what's his face? Jim Leonard, who couldn't run I could run better than Jim Leonard, but he could catch a ball, fielded balls back in the day.
Yep.
It is preposterous, inexcusable that you put yourself in this situation.
Well, here's the thing. There were 20 examples tonight of how the Broncos are a poorly coached team. The way they lost the game, giving up 0 first downs in overtime because they muffed the punt, is the prime example of how they are a poorly coached team. Look, Nathaniel Hackett may make it the next 2 weeks, but he should go on a European vacation after the game in London. He should not come back with this team.
Yeah, somebody tell him the Avs are playing in Finland the next weekend and tell him to go check it out.
Correct.
At least one Colorado team won tonight, the Colorado Avalanche. So, James, we'll let you go get some tea, rest those vocal cords. Thanks so much for hopping on with us. We do appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, man, DMac, it's hard to believe there were so many storylines coming out of this game, honestly, but obviously the final play for the Broncos, or the muff punt, is the one that everyone's going to talk about. And should anyone be fired? That's going to be a question a lot of people are going to have. My only thing is, and I want to say no one's going to get fired, but because this is a new ownership group, DMac, I just have a gut feeling that they're going to say this is absolutely unacceptable and some change needs to be made this week.
The problem is when you're talking about billionaires, Rachel, who has the courage to tell a billionaire the ugly truth, except for perhaps the media, which you sometimes dismiss as haters. But listen to your fans. That's my advice. Listen to me. The media is not out to get the Broncos. The media is not out to get Russell Wilson. We want this to work out, okay? So don't listen to your subsidized media outlets, okay? They're fine people. I don't have anything personal against them. They're just not objective. They're not going to tell you the truth, okay? You need to start listening to the truth from people who have been around this for a long time. And frankly, you're not going to get any better truth tellers than us at the Fan. You will listen tomorrow. Greg Penner, listen tomorrow to the Fan. And it's not just me. Listen to what you hear throughout the course of the day. And you will hear the same things over and over and over again. And by the way, Rachel, we don't even want to do it. We don't want to do it because it doesn't necessarily personally help us. It's just that we care and we're passionate. And these are the truths about what's going on. And it sucks. I wish.
DMac, we have been more mild than the hundreds of comments than we have gotten in the 30 minutes that we have. This fan base is pissed off, but it sounds like these players are also pissed off, which I don't blame them. Jake, our producer behind the scenes, he's teasing us a little bit about a quote from possibly Justin Simmons.
Let's go.
We all know what the definition of insanity is. We can't keep doing the same thing week in and week out and think things are going to change.
Right on. Good for Justin. Good
Justin
day.
Simmons.
Good
is he basically saying something or someone needs to be fired?
Yeah, basically, yeah. He's saying we're doing the same crap over and over and over again. Good for Justin. I have said repeatedly, the one guy on this team that sort of needs to lead by harsh example, sort of in a Nathan McKinnon-like way, is Justin Simmons. And good. I'm glad to see that from Justin. Good for you, Justin. That's the right quote at the right time. You're telling the truth. And it's not acceptable. And he has had a career, Rachel. He's barreling down some weird alleys right now because he's a high-paid, all-pro, great safety that has never sniffed the playoffs right now. And I understand Justin Simmons' frustration. We all share it. So good, because you are doing the same crap over and over and over again. We have been talking about terrible special teams forever. And if this is ridiculous, somebody like me should not be a better special teams coach in the NFL than what they've got. But that sadly is the case. And I would be the best special teams coach because here's exactly what I would have told my special teams. Make sure they don't do a fake punt and get them out of the way. Get out of the way. They're about to give us back the ball. Okay? That's it.
But, DMac, this goes back to my original question that I did at the start of the show. Is this when your member one of the leaders of your team is going out and saying that. Was that the breaking point of this team where they snapped and maybe it's not the team, the players, but it's the players and the coaches separating themselves and breaking?
Well, who in the world could have faith in anything, Rachel, at this moment?
I don't, but you hope that inside the team meeting rooms, inside UC Health Training Center, that there's a little bit better communication.
Here's who I believe in. I believe in Evero as the defensive coordinator.
Me too, which is why I think he should be the head coach. That's why I say make him the head coach. Why he's gonna, DMac, we've talked about this plenty. He's going to get opportunities come next year, so you might as well see if he can do it this year instead of going out on another coaching search next season and possibly ending up with the exact
here's
same
the
thing.
problem. I have zero idea how he would manage a game. I know he would manage a defense, and he's done a good job. But Rachel, seriously, I have no idea how he would manage a game. That's why I would bring in Gary Kubiak on an interim basis. Bring in Kubes on an interim basis. Let's get through the rest of the season, and let's assess after that. Let's get get Jake Heaps and Russell's people out of there. By the way,
this brings up a great conversation.
That
they
needs
be
to happen
out
tomorrow. Jake,
I agree.
All of Russell Wilson's people, parking spaces. I don't care if Russell has an office, but he can't have his personal coach allowed in the building just to roam around. Can't have it. Bad optics. I don't care if Russell wants a place to sit down and go over things, but he can't have his own coach in there. So this is not that complicated, Rachel. All the special privileges for Russell Wilson need to go. And if he doesn't get it, then too bad. Okay? So that needs to go. You need to get rid of Coach Hackett and Outen immediately. And Dwayne Stukes. Gone tomorrow. And then you need to listen, I get it with Evero, and I wouldn't even fight it. But you got to bring in somebody, Rachel, who has some sort of experience managing other people.
Here's the reason I say, though, that you don't, this season's a wash. I'm sorry for anybody that has playoff hopes. There's 0% chance, I'm going to say it, that it could ever happen. There's no way this
17%, but go ahead.
I think it was 12. 12%. I'm sorry to ruin everybody's bubble. It's not going to happen. This was the easier part of the schedule for this Broncos team. But just see what you have. That's the only reason that I say just go with Evero and see what you have. Because if not, go get a veteran coach that's out there that's done it before, and then you can bring him in. That's why I say go with Evero.
All right,
Customer service. Yep. Can we get a refund on the quarterback that we're paying a lot of money for, please and thank you. I think changes need to be made. I love everybody in the comments, though. They're agreeing with us, DMac. Russell Wilson's people need to be gone. It needs to be over. The special treatment, you have not proven that you deserve it. It's like a kid in a candy store. You know what? You threw a tantrum, you don't get it.
They need to have a leader in there as a coach who can still manage Russell and have Russell have respect and work towards. Because, I don't know. Now Russell's hurt, right? He's got a hamstring injury. I don't know. That's convenient. So, okay. So shut him down, man. Shut him down. What's the difference at this point? I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. You got the Jets coming in. They're good, by the way. The Jets just beat the Packers in Green Bay. How about that one? Right? The Jaguars are all over the place, and I have no idea how anybody plays in England one way or another. I don't know how to predict that. And I'm not trying to sideline Russ. You got Russ for Rachel. You got Russ for 4 years.
Buckle up, everybody.
No, there's no way around it. So I saw Peyton Manning win a Super Bowl in a year where he was hurt and they were running a different offense that he wasn't accustomed to. And they used a backup quarterback and a great defense to actually win. I actually saw that happen. That happened, okay? And we're in a very, very similar situation right now. I saw Tim Tebow go 8-5 as a starter and win a playoff game. I saw it happen. So listen, it's not like it's over. It's just that you don't have the right people in charge to possibly make it happen. In the Tim Tebow situation, you had John Fox, who had been a coach that got a team to the Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers. And in 2015, when Peyton was having such a bad year, you had Gary Kubiak, who was a very extremely seasoned head coach and knew how to manage people. We got nothing right now. I mean, I'm talking nothing. So, and I am just devastated by how poor the special teams actually was. And I am not going to get over it. It's not going to just go away. It's not okay. You had Russell Wilson, and you didn't get the ball to him when all you had to do was nothing. And you would have had the ball in Russell Wilson's hand with a chance to win the freaking game, Rachel.
Montreal Washington did come out and say he takes the blame for the muffed punt. It's on me. It's not on PJ at all. I've got to be louder. Also, here's a fun stat for you. Broncos had -9 passing yards in the second half. -9. Huge shout out to Jake on the back end. He does so much research for us. But -9.
That's disgusting.
Oh man. The comments, you guys.
What? I mean, are people upset, Rachel? Rightfully so.
Oh, people are pissed. We've got a lot of comments, DMac. Like I said, it's been more mild than you, or more frustrated than you and I have been. We've been very mild here compared.
It's been more frustrated than me. How in the world can it be more frustrated than me?
People are pissed. Let's see. Can we talk about the receiver group? No separation, quit on plays, and drop passes all season, 100%. Camp Russ did not work. Let's hide. Is Melvin Gordon done?
Wow. Hey, Rachel, by the way, Cortland Sutton, holy cow. 3 targets, 2 catches for 14 yards. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Jake on the back end, tell us when Russell Wilson please takes the podium. But I do want to talk about, I'm going to go.
Wait a second. Russell Wilson hasn't taken the podium yet?
I don't think so.
We've been doing this for 48 minutes.
Yes.
We've been doing this postgame show for 48 minutes and Russell Wilson hasn't taken the podium?
No.
They should be on the plane right now.
Yeah, well, so you get when you get an office and you have your people there. Again, going back to this, all of his people need to be out of the building. It needs to stop. Everything around these needs to stop. People are saying he's hiding. Damari Mathis has become the NFL's leader in pass interference penalties in just one game. He has 4 tonight. Nobody else has more than 3 this entire season. Wow, you guys.
Patrick Surtain's good. Thank God. Hey, thank God we got Patrick Surtain. Woo! Man,
did not allow a reception and cover for the second time in a game this season. All hail PS2, everybody. All hail him.
2 and 4. Hey, Patrick Surtain, 9 and 14 with Patrick Surtain. That's what we are with Patrick Surtain.
Well, okay, let's stick on the positive train real quick. Greg Dulcich, have a game. Coming back, your first NFL game. Have a game, my friend. A touchdown. It was beautiful. I thought he was great. I thought he was better than Albert O. I love that defenses couldn't read exactly what the Broncos were going to do with him in there. Have a game.
Well, he had 2 catches for 44 yards, 1 on busted coverage for 39. So
listen, he still had a touch. I thought, to be honest, he was going to get used in the 4th quarter on a little slant pass. That's how I thought.
Nice.
He had a touchdown. He had a great game. For his first NFL game, DMac, his first one, he got a touchdown. He looked great in the first half.
Sure. I mean, the Broncos
looked better than Albert O's looked all season. So,
he certainly looked better than Albert O because he was in uniform tonight. So, you win that one. I'm looking at the receivers too. I don't understand Jerry Jeudy. He gets all sorts of targets. He had 7 targets, but only 3 catches. How about him?
How about him sitting on the sideline with Melvin Gordon talking?
Well, he's yelling about something at the game, and Melvin Gordon's just thinking about when he's calling U-Haul. Melvin Gordon doesn't care. Melvin Gordon's checked out. Yeah, he's done. That's the guy who's done right there.
I don't understand though. Like it has to be his attitude or something. DMac, I need you to ask them this week at the presser.
Sure.
I need you to ask them. I need to know this. Oh, okay.
Yeah, what's the question? Like, why don't you use Melvin Gordon? What's the problem with Melvin Gordon?
What was the difference between the first half and the second half of why you had Melvin Gordon in the game?
I think that's a fair question. because Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon were basically 50-50. So
Yes.
why in this particular game was it so much Latavius Murray and barely Melvin Gordon? Why
They didn't use him in the second half. I don't think he got a single touch in the second half.
Hey, that's a fair question.
Thank you.
Why wasn't there equal usage of Melvin Gordon with Latavius Murray? That's fair. I mean, they obviously don't trust him, and they obviously don't want him on the team. I mean, that's what I would take from it. And by the way, you say hot hand. Latavius Murray, 15 carries for 66 yards, 4.4. I mean, that's okay. Melvin, I don't even know. 3 carries for 8 yards. I mean, it's barely worth talking about. He had a long of 4. I mean, I mean, again, Rachel, the team had 23 rushing attempts and 15 receptions.
Yep.
I mean, that's it. They had 38 plays to do something productive. That's it. That's it.
All right. Well, DMac, I don't know if Russell Wilson's ever going to take the podium, but
that's crazy, by the way. We're 52 minutes into this, and he hasn't stepped up yet, huh?
Yep. Baron Browning, after a fantastic game, comes out and says, any stat we could have as a defense doesn't mean bleep because the team didn't win. DMac, I'm worried. I think it's breaking. I think things are going very, very poorly.
Well, Baron Browning's being a nice guy, but Baron Browning was awesome tonight. He had a sack, 2 tackles for a loss, a pass defended, hit the quarterback once, looked great. Tons of pressure that you don't even get numbers for. Alex Singleton, 19 solo tackles, 2 combined, 2 tackles for a loss. Alex Singleton was unbelievable tonight in replace of Josie Jewell. Jonas Griffith played solid. What was Bradley Chubb? Bradley Chubb probably should have had a better game, but there was pressure on Herbert the whole game, and Herbert didn't have a good game. Herbert was, I mean, a stunning 57 passing attempts for 238 yards. Rachel, that's pathetic. 37 of 57 for 4.2 per. That's nothing. And he got sacked twice. No touchdown passes, and he threw an interception. I mean, wow. I do not know how you could have asked better for the defense against a guy who's arguably a top 10 quarterback in the league. That's awesome. Awesome. And by the way, the Broncos shut down the running game. Austin Eckler, 14 carries for 36 yards.
Yep.
Fantastic. They did great. The Broncos defense did outstanding tonight. Outstanding.
Yep. Okay, I want to ask this, people, because we're getting close to 1,000 comments, so we might as well hit 1,000 comments here tonight. You had to just pick one. You can only pick one. Who are you choosing to fire? Let us know in the comments because I'm actually curious. DMac, if you can only fire one, who are you getting rid of and go?
I can only fire one. Tomorrow I'd fire Dwayne Stukes. But
mine's Outland. Mine is Outland because it's the same crap we watched over and over and over again.
Let me take that back. Sorry. Let me take that back. That's terrible. Rewind. Pretend you didn't hear what I said. Erase it. No, clearly you got to fire Hackett. Sorry. I'm sorry. You clearly got to fire Hackett. Nice enough guy. Way out of his depth. He was brought on as bait for the ethereal weasel turd Aaron Rodgers. Didn't work out. It's Hackett. It's Hackett by a mile. And as we fire Hackett, Justin Allen will naturally just follow him out the door. You won't even have to fire out. He'll just sort of wander around after him. And Dwayne Stukes is probably fine. So my bad to Dwayne Stukes. The problem is you as the coach have to tell the special teams coach how to operate. The special teams coach can only do what he's instructed to do. So if the special teams coach is instructed to have his punt returner return punts, he's got to coach him up. So my bad on that. I'm not thrilled with Dwayne Stukes, obviously, but he's only doing what the coach is telling him to do. So I would lose Hackett and Outen would leave their fourth. And I've said a million times, Gary Kubiak, interim coach, Clint Kubiak, offense coordinator. Tomorrow, I would do that.
I can't imagine. We did hit 1,000 comments, though, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us here on Postgame Live. Russell Wilson still not at the podium. We're going on nearly an hour after the game ends. That's unbelievable considering that this isn't a home
By the way,
game.
let me tell you this. Let me tell you this about Russell Wilson real quick.
Okay,
If you want to wear a Dolce & Gabbana suit, that's fine. I've got no problems. In fact, you look great. Let somebody else post the picture of it. You don't need to have you or your team post a picture of you looking cool. You will get attention, period. And it's cool to look cool. And there's never a second in my life how I've ever looked as cool as that. That being said, I have enough common sense to realize me posting a picture of me trying to be cool is about the most uncool thing you can do. And if you've got to get a mention in to Dolce & Gabbana to get the suit in the first place, I mean, I don't even know what to say. You make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Go get a pair of jeans at Walmart. What's the difference? At least you'd be supporting your boss.
All right, DMac, I'm going to ask you this question. You tell me yes or no.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson just got to the podium. We're 57 minutes in. Do we react to it right here, right now, with everybody in the comments hanging out with us? Or do we react to it tomorrow morning?
No, we hang out right now. People are they with us or are they not with us?
Oh, we got a lot of people in here, so let's keep the party rolling. Well, Russell Wilson just went to the podium, everybody. Will we get a Let's Ride? That's going to be the question.
Of course we are. Oh, I'm seeing it right now, actually.
Gosh.
Here we go.
Okay, Broncos defense ranks first in EPA drive, points allowed per drive, and 3-and-out rate. It also boosts the league's best red zone rate. They have only allowed 6 touchdowns this season. Wow, this offense is failing them.
I actually have it on live here. A second, Rachel. I can give live commentary to what he's saying.
I'm ready.
All right, he's in his suit.
And then we didn't get that many. We didn't.
He's not crying.
Cleaner in the second half. I think the reality is it's just not good. That's not good enough. We got to be better.
We got to be better.
Play sharper.
Got to play sharper.
We got to find ways to make plays.
We got to find ways to make plays.
Continue to get first downs, touchdowns.
First downs, touchdowns.
It's a good football team out there, but we're just as good, if not better.
We're just as good, if not better, as the Chargers.
We got to answer the call.
We got to answer the call.
It's definitely
You know what? I think we should go to bed.
We're not going to get anything interesting out of him anyway, so there's no reason.
Seriously, let's do this on coffee break tomorrow. I can't take it.
There's no division in our locker room. Everyone is fighting their butts off. It's not good enough. We have to answer the call.
Stop. Let's go to bed.
Oh my
Forget
gosh.
it, Rachel. We tried our best today. Let's just do it tomorrow. Seriously.
Tomorrow morning, 10:30 a.m.
I love everybody. I love all the commenters. I can't take it. I seriously cannot take it. I can't take the cliches. I can't take this false impression of reality. I can't take it. I
wonder if he had to go talk to his publicist after to be like, what should I say? Then he could get up on the podium.
I think delusionally he thinks he had an okay game today. I can't take it. I can't watch it. I can't do it.
I feel like we're being punked. This is all on purpose. I feel that way too. All right, everyone. 10:30 tomorrow morning. Myself, DMac, Jake Shapiro on the back end will be joining us along with Mike Evans. Come hang out. We're going to break down everything after we get a good night's rest and see if we're just as frustrated in the morning. Spoiler alert, I think we're going to be because we're going to rewatch the game too. So make sure you tune in 10:30 tomorrow morning. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We'll see everybody then. Thanks for hanging with us on Postgame Live. Bye, everyone.